drive just 45 minutes south of Boston, down I-95 and just a bit down 495, and you'll end up as the site for our matchup tonight is the 4-8 Norton Lancers, desperately needing a victory to catapult their playoff hopes. Take on the 3-11 Millis Mohawks and LSN's coverage of Friday Night Basketball. Hello, folks, and welcome inside the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium at Norton High School. I'm David Blake, and for the Lancers coming into the night, they're trying to build off a fantastic 15-point victory over Medfield and turn it into a winning streak this team desperately needs. Last game against Medfield, 63-48 was the final. They broke their three-game losing streak in which they forced 21 turnovers, which just speaks to how fantastic their defense can be when they're firing on all cylinders. And the star of that last game was none other than the junior Colin Cochran, a career-high 23 points last game. And talking to Coach Mark Lobator, the head coach of this Lancers before this game, he said he's playing with a whole lot of confidence, creating fantastic shots in the open and sinking those shots as well. And one of the big things that's helped Colin Cochran really elevate to that star status in these last few games is an injury to Griffin Mackler. The Lancers star player has been limited in his last two games with an ankle sprain. Sprained it, kind of rolled over his ankle against Bellingham. Woke up the next morning, the entire side of the foot covered in a bruise. He played limited minutes against Medfield, sat out versus DS. Talking to Coach Mark Lobator today, he said he's just about back at 100%, so expect to see a whole lot of Griffin Mackler tonight. The reigning TVL MVP trying to lead the Lancers to a victory. On the other side of things, you have the Millis Mohawks standing in at 3-11 with a record that's not really indicative of how well this team can be. They're very much a football team turned into a basketball team, and many of these same players played in the D8 state championship for the MIAA football title just a few months ago. They beat South Shore Christian Academy 60-59 on Wednesday night, and they come in, however, bearing a 15-game losing streak on the road. The last time they beat a team on the road was Ashland on January 7th, 2018, trying to turn around almost a year, almost 56 weeks later here at Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The player to watch for them tonight, however, will be Thomas Fallon. He lit up Norton for 30 points and 15 rebounds on December 23rd, the last time these two teams matched up. A Lancer victory, 66-60 in overtime, which they came back from down at 9 with just over a minute and a half to go. Was able to come back, the Lancers were, and won that in overtime, thanks in part to Zach Steele kicking off overtime with a huge three-pointer to start things off, which led to a Lancer victory. So both teams trying to catch fire here on a Friday night as the second half to the season for both teams kicks off next on LSN. Folks, welcome inside our broadcast. I'm David Blake. As we'll get ready to go, the puck is dropped and we're underway. Bellingham kicked this one off, that one high in the air. This is LSN. 1-0 the score, and if he can do it this place, the Lancer fan section ready to erupt. This one thrown on towards net, in front, headed, and we're all tied up. 77 minutes. Stop here, looking to pass. Pass it to the outside, caught, and it's intercepted. Beats it back, this one's tipped away. Baker on the move, puts up the layup, and that one's good. As that one's over to Gallagher, he'll settle this one down, looking for a shot. That one, put home, Brendan Hayden. Got the 18, headed in front for Mario Harrison, sends it in, the Lancers take a 3-point advantage. Welcome inside the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javik Blake as the 3-11 Millis Mohawks take on the 4-8 Norton Lancers here on Friday Night Hoops right here on LSN. And first, let's get you the starting lineups first for the Millis Mohawks. Number 0, Ernesto Oliveri, the sophomore, getting the starting nod. Number 2, Jonathan Leducu. Last time these two teams met up, lit up the Lancers for 17 points. The point guard will be leading the offense. You got number 11, Brandon Conroy. Number 3, the captain, Nick Algier. And number 4, Thomas Fallon. On the other side of things for the Norton Lancers, you have number 1, Sean McNichols. Number 3, Thomas Bingle. Number 23, the man in the circle currently, Mikey Belcher. And then you have Colin Cochran, number 24. And number 2, Griffin Mackler. As we'll get ready to go here on a Friday night. Two teams desperately needing a win. The Lancers trying to get back towards 500 as they try to make the tournament. And for Millis, just trying to stay afloat and break that lengthy 15-game losing streak away from home as we are now underway from the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. Bingle throws it over to Cochran. McNichols has it. The shot sinks it with ease from just inside the arc. And the Lancers get a quick 2 points here to start things off. Leduc has it just outside the arc. Tries to play it inside to nobody as the pass going through the paint without getting touched. The Lancers will inbound it. Trying to build off some early points. Thomas Bingle has the inbound. Throwing it back to the near side to McNichols, back to the far side to McElroy. The Lancers creating some momentum as they bring it down. The shot just going in and out, but it's Mikey Belcher with the offensive rebound and putting it home, and the Lancers take a 4-0 advantage here. 40 seconds into this one. Nick Algier controlling it up top. Sends it down low to Jonathan LeDuc, trying to drive the lane, sends it off to the outside to Algier, and they're going to tag him for a travel. Now let's go back to that Lancers play in that last possession for just a second. Fantastic passing back and forth cross court in order to free up some space on the near side for Colin Cochran, who's been quite the lethal three-point shooter. Sean McNichols has it driving the lane in the paint, able to spin it up, but it's Mikey Belcher getting his second offensive rebound of the night and freeing up for the Lancers' third as well. Thomas Bingle has it to Cochran, back to Bingle, over to the outside, and McElroy pulls up from three. He's got it and sinks it in. 7-0 here early, and 1:17 into this one. Millis is going to use a timeout. The Lancers firing on all cylinders as we start here. 7-0 the score. We'll be back right after this. Hello folks, welcome back here to the Lawrence and Rock Gymnasium, and one of the big things we've seen for Mikey Belcher over this year is those offensive rebounds. Trending his last few games, has been able to get a double-double once in his last two games. It's really been the offensive rebound. Back-to-back possessions, he's been able to grab it as Mills will inbound it, and they'll go right down the court. Jonathan LeDuc streaking down the court, able to put it inside the paint, and they'll get it in. And they'll grab the end one as well. Fouled hard by Griffin McElroy on his way up. Nick Algier getting the first 2 points for Mills, and he'll get his first free throw shot of the night. And those back-to-back points for the Lancers on straight possessions really done in part to their rebounding effort, and Mikey Belcher already with his third rebound of the night. 2 on the offensive side, now has 1 defensive board as well. Bingle set the offense up top, feeds it to the inside to McNichols. He'll hold it for a minute outside the paint. Belcher driving and tries to put up the shot, but it's blocked, but the Lancers able to get it right back. McElroy from just outside the paint, missing, and going the other way with it is Millis. Inside the lane, the shot put up, and back-to-back possessions for Nick Algier. Griffin McElroy with his second foul of the night, and another 2 points for Nick Algier with a possibility of making this a 3-point play. A free throw violation called there on Mills, so for the Lancers, they'll inbound on the baseline. 6:13 left in the first quarter, 7 for the score. The Lancers jumped out to a 7-0 lead before a 4 points on back-to-back potential 3-point plays for the Millis Mohawks. Sean McNichols has it past the timeline. Bingle has it now just outside the free throw line. Just outside the 3-point arc on the far side. Sends it back to the middle to Cochran. Cochran for deep for 3, and he's got it. A contested shot puts it in. And the Lancer lead now stands at 6. Nick Algier trying to go back down the court. Feeds it inside to the paint, trying to get another 3-point play, but it's Mikey Belcher blocking it and sending it out of play, and this Lancer crowd riled up here in the early going. Brendan Connery to inbound it from the baseline. 10 for the score. Cochran already getting things started for the Lancers with a 3-pointer on the last possession. It's Algier trying to pass it across court. And right through the hands of James Works. And the Lancers will inbound it from the far side. Just in front of the student section, right in front of the cheerleaders on that far side. It'll be Griffin McElroy to inbound it. Bingle to set the offense. They'll break the half-court line. 5:35 remaining here in the first. Belcher right outside the 3-point line. Sends it over the outside. Bingle for 3. Just off the iron. Griffin McElroy came storming in from the near side to try and grab the rebound, but Mills will go the other way with it. The rebound's controlled by the Lancers at 4-2. Algier trying to put a little finish on that layup. Doesn't work, and the Lancers will go the other way with it. Now a wide open lane for Sean McNichols. Misses the open layup, goes off a few hands, and it'll stay with the Lancers. The Lancers, 10 points so far, none of them in the paint. They've been able to create a lot of shots from outside that paint, and a few from outside the arc already. The Lancers, 2 of 3, and another 3 made there by Griffin McAleer. 13-4 the score. The Lancers opening up a 9-point lead here, just a little over halfway through the first quarter. Goes off a lot of bodies. They're going to say it going off the leg of Thomas Bingle before going out of play. And Evan Simmons, the junior, one about it. LeDuc has it, feeds it inside the paint to Fallon. Fallon, the fadeaway missing, and the Lancers able to grab the rebound, and they'll go the other way with it. A whole lot of shots going out for the Lancers here early. Griffin McAleer with a nice move from just outside the paint, and it is all Norton here through halfway through the first quarter, an 11-point lead, 15-4. We highlighted the road woes coming into this, and just another missed opportunity for Millis. The third turnover on the offensive side, and we'll go to a timeout. Millis taking the timeout, already finding themselves down by 11 in a whole lot of trouble when we come back right here on LSN. And the Millis Mohawks trying to break their 15-game road losing streak, certainly being lit up by Griffin McAleer. Already 8 points, not even through halfway through a quarter. With the Lancers leading by 11. It's those road woes that have really hurt the Millis Mohawks a whole lot. They've lost 15 straight dating back to January of 2018, and over those 15 games, they've been outscored by a margin of 16 points, averaging giving up 66 and only scoring 50. As the Lancers will take it past the timeline, trying to increase the lead even more, already up by 11. Belcher has it, just outside the three-point line. Trying to drive the lane towards the foul line, brings it up and tries to hook it in without the use of the backboard, but instead rebounded by Millis, and they'll go the other way with it, trying to come back in this one. Jonathan LeDuc sends it over to the outside. Fallon has it outside the line. Now brings inside the paint, a step back Jay from just about the foul line. Misses, and the Lancers, Thomas Bingle grabbing the rebound. McAleer has it, he's been on fire, trying to get to double digits with ease. A man that's averaging 15.2 a game when in his last few games hasn't done so hot, only averaging 11.7, already has 10 in just 4.5 minutes. The Lancers are already leading by 13. It's Thomas Fallon trying to bring it up. Mikey Belcher almost with the steal as they'll pass to the near side. LeDuc. This Millis offense having a whole bunch of trouble. 7 seconds left in the shot clock to try to feed it inside the lane. Belcher with some fantastic defense and is able to grab the rebound, and a foul is called on James Works. Works, the senior, number 15, called for the foul, his first foul of the night. So the Lancers up by 13, trying to extend that lead. Thomas Bingle to bring it up. Last time they played, Millis had 4 points, but had 5 rebounds and 5 assists as well, and an ill-advised pass from Belcher. Last going off the hands of Andre Bates and going out of play. So Sean McNichols to inbound it from the far side, sends it back to Bingle. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. It's been all Norton. McAleer has it. He's feeling it tonight from just outside the three-point line, missing. And Millis grabbing the rebound will go the other way with it. And Griffin McAleer, really, man, the Lancers haven't had a whole lot going for him as Jonathan LeDuc finally breaks the scoring drought at 17-6. But going back to Griffin McAleer, he's a player for the Lancers that hasn't really clicked this season, has gone up against a lot of good defenses, and being the reigning TVL MVP, has had a lot to go off of. And Sean McNichols for 3 from deep, missing, and Colin Cochran going over everybody. Call for the over-the-back foul. And Millis to inbound it. So McAleer already with 10 of the Lancers' 17 points, 2:29 left here in the first quarter. Millis to inbound it. It's Josh Bergman. Head coach Paul Adams from the Millis Mohawks calling out some plays to the sidelines. LeDuc having a whole lot of trouble, some fantastic defense being put on by Thomas Bingle. A wide open man into the corner, they get it to him. Thomas Fallon from 3. Missing, but a great rebound by Millis trying to put it up, and a foul called. as Millis will go to the line. Jared Fucci, the senior captain, called for the foul. His first of the night. The Lancers are already with 4 in the quarter. As Millis will get 2 more foul shots, already 0 for 2 on the night. And wait, the first one puts to a 10-point lead, now 17-7. And those first 2 foul shots for Millis came on back-to-back potential 3-point plays. We're able to streak down the court, put up a layup. They'll make 2 of 2. Put up a layup, get fouled on the play, both by way of Griffin McElroy. So Thomas Bingle to bring it up for the Lancers. Their lead now stands at single digits at 9 with 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Fucci having some trouble finding someone to pass to, but will find it to Bingle. McNichols now has it, drives the lane, looking to just play it back inbounds, and is able to do it beautifully. Mackler has it on the far side. Looks for the dribble drive, driving the paint, looks to put up a shot. Gets blocked, it looks like, by number 12, J.D. Hart. 5 rebounds now for Millis. Fouled from deep, Mikey Belcher. Another big block and another big play, and the Lancers will go the other way with it. They're weakened. Griffin Mackler down deep, puts up the layup, and it's now at 11. Back and forth we go here from Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. An off-balance shot there by LeDuc finds its way home, and 2 more points in the paint for Millis. Makes it 19-10, a high-scoring first quarter. 29 points in total with 69 seconds to go here in the first. McNichols trying to just calm this offense down. A deep 3 from outside, missing with Jared Fucci able to grab the offensive rebound. Looking to put back the shot, he gets it. And those second chance points for the Lancers all night long have been working beautifully. 21 points in the quarter. For a team that's averaging just 52 a game, they've already scored 21 here in the first quarter. An open shot from the outside for Hart off the iron. And it's picked up, and the Lancers to go the other way with it. Looking to grab it, an off-balance shot. Hit as he shot it is Sean McNichols. The rebound control by Millis. Blocking foul called on Thomas Bingle with 29.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter in action. An electric first quarter of action for both teams. So Thomas Fallon to bring this one up. Josh Bergman has it, sends it back to Brendan Connery. Works has it. Just outside the paint with 18 to go. The shot clock is off. Over to the outside. They'll try and drive the lane. Millis puts up the shot, missing. And the Lancers will go the other way with it. And now 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. They've already hit a few buzzer beaters to end quarters. Sean McNichols with 2. 3 seconds left. They'll look to pull it up inside the lane to Belcher. Look to put up the layup at the end of the quarter. Gets blocked. And that's where we'll end the first, but what an exciting first quarter of action. 21-10 the score. So we'll be back in just a moment to Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. Hello folks, welcome back here to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javik Blake, and for the Lancers coming into tonight, they've had a whole lot of offensive woes over the last 5 games. They've only averaged 48.6 a game. Talking to Coach Mark Lobatore earlier today, the head coach of these Norton Lancers, in our preseason interview, he really said that the reason the Lancers haven't been doing so well offensively is they've just been playing a lot of good competition. They've had a tough stretch their last 3 games, all against teams that have qualified for the playoffs, and all 3 of them play incredibly good defense, which he attributed to the Lancers really not being able to get as good shots as they would want, which has contributed to the low scoring, but against a defense like Millis, who allows a whole lot of points, fifth worst in the TVL, the Lancers have been able to do a whole lot of offense here tonight. Millis, the deep 3 off the back iron, and taken by Cochran, goes off his hands and out of play. And what we've seen already, Millis loving to take the 3-point attempt, but so far here early, they've been unable to convert on 1. 0 for 2 after the first quarter, 0 for 3 after that last attempt. Sending it up to the top, it's Thomas Fallon, who's had a whole lot of them driving the lane now. And the shot put up, fouling on the play is James Works, who'll go to the line for 2. Mikey Belcher earning a foul here. His first foul of the night, the Lancers' 6th team foul of the half, and Millis already going to the line for shots 5 and 6 from the stripe tonight. They'll miss the first one. The score still standing at 21-10, 27 seconds into the second quarter. Works the senior. His 4th shot, a free throw attempt of the night, goes in. Millis 1-1 from the stripe, 3 of 6 tonight. The lead now at 10 for the Lancers. McNichols has it outside the three-point line, feeding it inside the lane to Belcher, who just rolls it in with ease, as he's done a whole lot tonight. His size really towering over many of the players on the court, and he's using it to his advantage. Fallon sending it back to the top to Algier, the Lancers leading by 12. Matt Collmore looking to come in for the Lancers at the next whistle. The deep three from Bergman called off. Traveling the call and coming in is Matt Collmore in for Colin Cochran. So we stand at 23-11. Lancers to inbound it. Thomas Bingle to bring it up to set this offense. He's averaging 2 assists per game, and he's done a fantastic job running this offense this season. Belcher has it. Just from inside the three-point line, puts up the shot, missing. The Lancers giving Griffin McElroy a little bit of a break, not out there on the floor as Algier goes the other way with it and loses it. But it's waved off. It looks like there's a foul called, and there will be. Jared Fucci picking up his second foul of the night. And the Lancers already in the bonus with 6:42 remaining in the first half. Millis will go to the line. Zach Steele, the senior, will come in for Fucci. So Nick Algier, really the second guard on this team, a good second shooter. The first shot of the 1-and-1 missing, so the Lancers getting the ball back. Mikey Belcher with yet another rebound. The man was averaging 11.6 rebounds on the season, had 20 last game, picks up yet another one here tonight. Belcher driving the lane, hits off his man, and misses the layup as it goes off a few players. Last touch by Matt Collmore, going out of play. And the Mohawks will inbound it. 6:29 left here in the first half. Millis leading by 12. A low-scoring second quarter compared to the first. Only 3 points combined for the teams here tonight. Millis kicks it off to the outside. Another block for the Lancers, but it'll stay with Millis. The third big block of the night for the Lancers this time. Matt Collmore doing the honors. James Works looked to run to inbound it for a sec, but instead it'll be Brendan Conrad. 6:16 left here in the first half. 23-11 the score. The shot from just inside the line missing, and the Lancers go the other way with already their 12th rebound of the night. Steele has it. Dumps it off to Bingle. They got their big point guard, one of the best shooters on this team, on the far side of the court, Sean McNichols, but a big shot there, a great hook shot from Zach Steele, an acrobatic shot to put it in, and it's 25-11. Griffin McElroy, Colin Cochran looking to come in for the Lancers. The shot from just outside of the free throw line, missing everything. A few men coming in for the Lancers. It's going to be Thomas Bingle and Sean McNichols to get some rest. 5:37 left here in the second quarter. Colin Cochran to bring it up. Now it's McElroy bringing it past the half-court line. Back to McElroy. Steps up from just inside the three-point line. Gets it to go once again in Griffin McElroy. 12 points on the night. Looking to have himself a night against the Millis team. He lit up for 19 points last time he faced him, and a whole lot of traffic in there, and a turnover and a foul called against Millis. Ernest Olivero getting called for the foul. His first foul of the night in the Lancers with a 16-point lead, looking to increase it even more. Going on a 6-1 run here in the first 2:49 of this second quarter. Belcher has it. Sends it to Collmore. We're going to drive it. Zach Steele, the jump shot from just outside. The paint missing off the iron, and Millis will go the other way with it. Looking for a big run here. They're going to need a whole lot of defense and a whole lot of big shots. Down by 16, looking to stave off a big Lancer lead. That'll do just a bit to cut in to the Lancer lead. Ernesto Oliveri putting it in. Already 8 points in the night for a Millis team that's really loving to score from inside the paint, as opposed to the Lancers really like hanging back and taking their shots from about mid-range. Belcher has it. Over to the outside. Back to Collmore, to McElroy. McElroy pulls up for three. Already has one of the night. Missing there off the side of the iron. Millis transition offense going the other way. It's Algier. The shot fouled on the play. And the hand of Colin Cochran just nailing the right arm of Nick Algier. So Cochran tagged with his second foul of the night. Now 2 shots at the line for Nick Algier, who misses the first of 2. "14 points to Lancer lead. Cut back down to 13 with 4:17 to go here in the second quarter. The Lancers with 18 fouls already. Trying to be careful not to put Millis in the double bonus, but what really helped that was 6 first quarter fouls. Inside the lane, kicks it out to the top. Cochran for 3, just off the back iron and out, but the Lancers able to get the ball back. And another big rebound, this time by Colin Cochran on the low block. So exactly halfway through the second quarter, the Lancers leading by 13. We're to continue to put on the pressure on this Millis defense as they'll miss the first of 2. Collmore this year, 2 of 6 from the free throw line, shooting 33%. Makes the second of his 2, and the lead now at 14. The Lancers doubling Millis' point total, 28-14 here in the second quarter. They'll play it over to the outside. Hart has it back to the top to LeDuc. Tipped for just a moment by it looked like Mikey Belcher. Millis desperately trying to drive the paint. It's really going to be all their offenses. What a play by Thomas Fallon. An off-balance shot, able to put it in from just inside the paint. And yet another 3-point opportunity for Thomas Fallon here tonight. And check that, actually. The call was on the floor, so instead, it'll be just 2 shots. The score now at 28-15. Make that 28-16. Colin Cochran to lead the Lancer offense. Swings over to the near side to Collmore for 3. Got it! And the Lancers have been firing on all cylinders from deep here tonight. Already the 4th shot made from behind the arc, and the Lancers trying to go with a trap defense on Jonathan LeDuc. Driving the lane is Ernesto Oliveri, able to get a rebound and puts an own missed shot back home. So the lead 31-18. The Lancers with 10 points in the quarter. Trying to feed it over to Mackler at the outside. Covered by 2 defenders. Mackler, yet again, shoots this one for 3. Gets it blocked on a way up. Zach Steele trying to apply some defense, tie the ball up on Ernesto Oliveri. As Conroy brings it the other way from Millis. Just inside the lane, putting up the shot, just rolling in and out. And the Lancers still grab the rebound. Mackler driving the lane inside the paint, looks to just put it the rudder on a tip-back shot and getting his own rebound. The Lancers, 2 opportunities to grab their own rebound. They're able to get both of them. As the shot just going off the iron. Inter an elbow. Nailing J.D. Hart. So Zach Steele with his first foul of the night. The Lancers now putting Millis in the double bonus. They'll go to the line for 2 shots. They're 12th and 13th of the night, trying to cut this lead back to 11. But they'll miss the first of 2. And Paul Adams, the Millis Mohawk head coach, infuriated with this team's free throw shooting ability. So far, 6 of 12 on the night for an even 50%. Second shot missing as well, and they'll go 0 for 2 from the line. They're able to get their own rebound, and putting it back in is Thomas Fallon. The focal point of this offense, really leading this offense as we streak towards the half here on LSN. 11 points the Lancer lead. They free up Mackler on the outside, sending it to Fucci. Now Steele from inside the paint, able to sink it. 5 buckets made inside the paint for the Lancers tonight, 13 points. The lead now for Norton. The biggest they've gotten tonight is 14. Hart has it. We're going to bring it inside the lane, but it's Jared Fucci to take it away using those long arms to bring it the other way to Griffin Mackler. Just a bit too much speed to put up the layup. And Millis will go right back the other way with it. LeDuc fouled on the floor. And a blocking foul called. The third foul already called on Colin Cochran. 1:43 left in the first half. Folks, remember, at the half, we'll have Ellison at the half covering what's been a crazy first quarter of action on the offensive end for the Lancers, as well as a look around the TVL. 2 games in action tonight. Bellingham at 10-3, taking on another 10-3 team in Dover, Sherborne, and Medway taking on Dedham at 5-7. Medway at 7-3. Currently underway are both of those. But here it is 33-21. And some substitutions coming on. Nate Sicard and Mikey Belcher coming on. Coming off is Zach Steele. And having to come out is Colin Cochran. Already in a little bit of foul trouble. 3 fouls here tonight. Sicard has it. Just outside the paint. Sends it to Belcher. Look for a jump shot. It's sent to McAleer for 3. Looking for his third three-pointer of the night. And foul on the play there is Thomas Bingle. Just the third foul of the night from a team perspective for Millis. With 1:27 left here in the first half, the Lancer lead at 12. Sicard has it. Over to Belcher. Sends it to McNichols. McNichols driving the lane, puts up the shot, gets fouled on the play, but will go to the line for 2. First of 2 from McNichols. The Lancer lead back up to 13 as he makes the first of 2. McNichols, really a guy that was keyed in by Coach Mark Libator as an underclassman who's really impressed him. He didn't really, a quote from him, he didn't take him any time to adjust to varsity basketball. He really just stepped up, but he's been very consistent. He has all season long, averaging 14.8 points. As there's now 1:15 left here in the first half. Looking to play it back up to the top, but there's nobody there, and all alone is Griffin Mack. Looking to put it up. Went for the dunk, but instead will have to settle for the layup. 16 points, the Lancer lead. And now a timeout by Paul Adams as his offense sputtering and his defense being annihilated here in the first half. 37-21, the Lancers lead. Just over a minute left in the first half. We'll be back in just a moment right here on LSN. Welcome back here to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The Lancers leading 37-21. They've opened an offensive showcase here in the first half. Let's take a look at the TVL Small Division standings as they stand of today. In first place, Bellingham with a 7-2 record. Tied with them in first is Medway at 7-2, looking to increase that record tonight against Dedham right behind them. Just 1 game back is Dover Sherborne at 6-3. And then you have 3 teams under 500 in the TVL. The Lancers at 4-5. 3 games back of first. Dedham at 3-6. 4 games back of first. And sitting in last place at 1-7 is the Millis Mohawks. 6 games back of Bellingham. We're going to get something going on offense. Driving the lane now is Work, sending it out to the top, looking for a 2-pointer for LeDuc. He's got it, check that, that'll be for 3. The first 3-pointer made all night for Millis, and the lead now at 13 for the Lancers, 37-24, with 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. McNichols, the step back, Jay. A beautiful shot from Sean McNichols to extend the lead to 15, the largest it's been all night long. And they'll look to bring it to the outside with 19 seconds to go. A deep 3, just off the iron, off the hands of Belcher, and the Lancers will get it back. Looking to extend their lead even further. Already up by 15 with 10 seconds to go in the first half. McAleer drawing a foul against him. Thomas Fallon, the guilty party. So the Lancers with 6.8 on inbound. The second foul of the night for Fallon, the 16th foul of the night. It'll be Coach Mark Libator. A little bit of confusion with the referee there, but he'll call a timeout with 6 seconds to go here in the first half. And the Lancers, this first half, they've just been firing on all cylinders. 39 points already. And they've been shooting lights out from the field as well. And it's really something that started last game with Griffin Mackler going 6 of 12 from the field for a 50%, also scoring 13 points, sitting just 155 points away from becoming just the 7th player to reach the 1,000 point mark, the first since Darren Duchette in 2009 at 1,194 points was his final total. The all-time record here at Norton High School ever taken by Cliff Reynolds at 1,377 points all the way back in 1965. And a hilarious story about Darren Duchette when he broke that record. Coming into that game, he was walking towards the locker room. He had to have jumped or something. And he hit his head on the exterior door frame a few games ago, had to get stitches, had a giant white bandage all around his head when he broke the points record. It looked like something out of a horror movie, but nonetheless broke the record for the first time since 2000. Back in 2009, the Lancers looking for another 1,000-point scorer 10 years later. This one inbounded, tipped away. Bingle now has it with 4 seconds to go, puts up the runner, missing, goes out of play. We're going to look for a whistle. To see where it goes, it'll go with Millis with 1.1 remaining in the first half. So the Lancers unable to add towards their total. They'll lead by 15. We'll see if any last-second heroics from Millis can change that. We're going to throw it downfield, down court. It's Mikey Belcher just heaving up a half-court bomb after the whistle, but we head to the half here on LSN on the Lancers. Well, it's been all of them here tonight. Leading by 15, 39-24 the score. LSN at the half. Coming up next right here on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome inside the halftime report here at Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. I'm Javic Blake. The Lancers leading this one 39-24 at the half, including a 21-point first quarter explosion. They followed that up with 18 points in the second quarter, and their defense really being locked down, limiting Millis to just 24 points and really keeping them outside of the perimeter, which Millis loved to shoot the first time these two teams matched up. But let's get you those first half stats. For team totals, it's 3-point field goals. It's 1 of 4 for Millis, but for the Lancers, they're feeling great from outside the arc. They're 4 of 6 so far for tonight. And from the free-throw line, the struggles well documented in the second quarter for Millis. Just 4 of 12 from the line, giving themselves a 6 of 16 clip on the night, good for just 37.5%. For the Norton Lancers, on the other hand, they only got to the line 4 times, and they made 2 buckets, good for 50%. Points in the paint, however, the Lancers leading that category as well. A big 8 points in that second quarter inside the paint, really leading by Mikey Belcher, who's done a fantastic job grabbing those offensive rebounds inside the paint, which led to 12 Lancer points in the paint on the other side for Millis, just 9. The rebounding game as well led by the Lancers 17-10. And Mikey Belcher, once again, 20 rebounds last game, doing a fantastic job here tonight. The offense, though, being led, which we haven't seen recently, but being led in a big way tonight by Griffin Mackler with 16 points, including 2 3-pointers. Got a little bit of a rest because of that ankle injury. Didn't play a lot of time last game against Medfield, but tonight doing a fantastic job, 16 points. And Matt Collingwood and Sean McNichols both being kind of neutralized by this Millis defense with 4 points apiece. On the other side for Millis, Jonathan LeDuc with 7 points, including 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And Nick Algier, 5 points. Had 2 chances in the very first quarter, the very first 2 possessions for the Millis. The Mohawks had 2 chances for 3-point play. Failed on both opportunities, and that's led to only 5 points tonight, including just 1 of 5 from the free throw line. For the Lancers, they come into the second half here, just going to need to keep up that offensive pressure, which they've done a fantastic job doing in the first half. They're going to need to keep that up and keep that lockdown D that we've seen all season long. For Mills, well, they just need to start limiting the shots for the Lancers from outside the arc. The Lancers have had a lot of opportunities. They haven't gotten to the paint a whole lot, but when they have, they've been able to make buckets outside the paint as well. Mills just really needs to get the more lockdown defense on the Lancers if they want to have any shot of coming back from down 15. For the Lancers, well, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. 39-24 as well the second half. Coming up next, right here on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to LSN. I'm Javic Blake as we get ready for the third quarter of action officially underway. Thomas Bingle to have it for the Lancers, up by 15, having a huge first half performance, hoping to build off of that here in the second. Mackler has it on the outside. Cochran has it. Now to Bingle at the top. Cochran has it now. Some great passing for the Lancers on the perimeter, looking to feed it inside to Belcher. They'll get it to him in the paint, having a little trouble putting up a shot. isn't able to get it, but he's able to grab his own rebound, towering over everybody. And we'll get a whistle and a push foul called on Sean McNichols. So the score, 39-24. Millis feverishly trying to come back in this one. But the Lancers, when they've led at the half this season, a lot of good things have happened. All 4 of their wins have come by way of them leading at the half. They're 4-2. Hoping to get to 5-2 here tonight. Belcher able to grab the rebound, looks for a minute, looks for another bucket. Jonathan Leduc, though, has done a fantastic job. 7 points already tonight, adds to his total to bring it to 9. Bingo has it, throws it over to the outside. The shot, got it. And Colin Cochran, currently having the best stretch of his career, hits a 3 to get on the board for the first time tonight. Millis has it on the far side. We're going to bring it inside the lane. Griffin Mackler, we're going to create a little bit of traffic, but it's Belcher called for the foul. Fouling Jonathan Leduc. The Lancers enjoying a 16-point lead, their largest of the night. So Millis, 6 of 16 so far tonight from the stripe. Misses the first of 2. And he'll make the second. So the lead now back to 15 with 6:37 here in the third. A little bit of a press here from Millis. The Lancers able to get out of it and bring it up. Sean McNichols to Bingle. To Cochran. He'll hold it on the near side. Just outside on the wing, sends it over to the outside. Back to McNichols. McNichols for 3 off the iron. And taken on the rebound by Fallon as Millis goes the other way with it. Looking to bring it up quickly. Had the numbers. An on-man rush. What looked like a fantastic play there from Thomas Bingle. Said he stepped out of bounds, and instead Millis will be the ones to inbound it. Nick Algier to do the honors. Trying to cut a little bit more into this Lancer lead. Faking the shot is Fallon. Looking to bring it in, instead opts for the pass, and look to bring it out up top. And a whole lot of bodies diving on the floor, and the Lancers look at the ball. Mackler looked to turn to go the other way and instead hit off his hands. Went through the legs of Mikey Belcher, but just hitting off the hand of Nick Algier before going out. Bingle to McNichols. Looked to bring it towards Griffin Mackler, but coming in way too hot for that pass as it goes right through his hands. As the Lancers will turn it over. Another big thing for Millis, not just on the road, but against the TVL in general. They're 2-13 in their last 15 games against the TVL, trying to bring home a victory here tonight, but it's going to be a big uphill climb for them. Already down by 15. Here in the third quarter, as the Lancers looking to expand upon that lead as Bingle will bring it up. Over to Cochran for 3, just off the iron, and the rebound taken by Oliveira. Oliveira looked to bring it up, but instead a diving play from McNichols. Gets the ball back, driving the lane, looked to put up the layup, and what a possession there from Sean McNichols, diving across the floor, putting the ball back in play, getting it back and laying it in for the Lancers to now have a 17-point lead. And if nothing so far has told you it's been the Lancers' night, well, that possession right there illustrates it entirely. Millis looking to feed it inside. Oliveira gets blocked by McAleer. And it's all Lancers. They have all the momentum now. As it's Cochran looking to play it back in play. The Lancers experimenting with a few stretch passes here in the early goings of the third quarter. Haven't been able to do it so far, but they do have a 7-point lead. 5 points already in the quarter. Connery sends it inside, gets it back at the elbow. Back to the top. It's Algier. Holds it. So it goes to the near side to Connery. Back to Algier. Algier for 3. Got it. Only the second three-pointer tonight for Millis, but Algier now has 8. Going to feed it over to Mackler instead to McNichols. Mackler now has it, driving the lane. Up under the basket to everybody. And they're going to say he stepped out of play, so it's going to be Coach Mark Libator to call the timeout. The Lancer lead stands at 14. 4:14 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be right back on Friday Night Hoops on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The Lancers leading by 14 here with 4:14 left in the third quarter. Coach Mark Libator just trying to make some changes to the offense. They've been a little bit streaky here at the beginning of the third quarter, but it's Griffin Mackler with the takeaway. We're going to bounce pass up forward, and a little bit too much mustard on that one as it goes out of play, and that's been a key for the Lancers in a lot of their passes here lately. Just a bit too much on it, but you're a Lancer fan, thankfully, able to get the ball back. So we're exactly halfway through the third quarter. The lead at 14. Belcher able to get it, looking to send it over to the outside to Mackler. Mackler to Bingle. McNichols back to Bingle. Now over to McNichols looking for the cross-court pass. It's a fantastic passing over to the outside to Mackler. Back to Bingle with less than 10 on the shot clock. Mackler looking at a cross-court pass to McNichols for three. Got it! And the lead back to 17. Connery has it at the top. Now it's Fallon. Fake the shot for a moment, sends it over to the near side. It's a whole lot of commotion there for Millis looking to put up the shot off the iron, but they're able to get their own rebound. They're going to drive the lane, kicks it back out over to the outside for three, off the iron. And it's Mikey Belcher to grab the rebound. Bingle now has it. 47-30. Mackler for three. Got it again. And Griffin Mackler having himself a night. The lead now at 20. And almost looking for a takeaway again. But a timeout called by Millis instead. 2:50 left here in the third quarter. The Lancers leading by 20 right here on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome back here to the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. As you see Millis Mohawk head coach Paul Adams exploding on the bench, trying to get his team amped up to try and just stop this bleeding on their defense. 50-30 the score. The Lancers with 11 points here in the third quarter. And one of the big things Paul Adams was keying on the bench, just listening to him implore his team, is one thing that Millis isn't doing is they're concentrating their defense on other players that aren't named Griffin Mackler, therefore leaving Mackler wide open, and he's having himself a night with 20-plus points already. Mackler covering LeDuc. Bergman has it. Steps up, passes it to the far side. The shot from just inside the arc makes it. As Millis cuts the lead back down to 18. 20th, the largest lead of the night for the Lancers. Started out with a quick 7-0 run to start this one. And they've really put it in cruise control from there for three, deep off the iron, but the Lancers aren't able to get the rebound. And right back the Lancers. And Griffin Mackler able to steal it away, put up a shot, but unable to make either of them as they were able to grab the opportunity. Fallon, the shot off the iron and rebounded by Belcher. Mackler to go the other way with it. To Belcher now. We're going to find someone to pass it to, passes it to McNichols. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Belcher has it over to the outside. Mackler. He's hot tonight, looking to put up another one in traffic. Puts the Lancers back up by 20, 52-32. They'll go in on the near side, looking to pass it. It's Hart. Back to the top to Simmons. Makes the three-pointer in the lead. Now it's 17. .121 and counting left here in the fourth quarter. Check that for third quarter. Mackler steps up. We're going to pass to the outside. He does. Back to Belcher. Driving the lane now. We're going to spin outside. His defender puts it up in a whole lot of traffic and he gets fouled on the play. So Belcher so far on the season, 32 of 52 Good for 62% from the line. And he'll miss the first of two. Coming in is Thomas Bingle, coming in for Griffin Mackler to give him just a little bit of rest. The Lancer lead at 17 with 63 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the second of two, missing as well, goes 0 for 2 from the stripe as Evan Simmons and the Millis Mohawks bring it the other way. It's LeDuc. Has it with 55 to go. Bergman over to the outside, back to Bergman, goes off his hands, and LeDuc right there to save that one from going out of play. Bergman now has it. In towards the inside, Mikey Belcher able to steal it away. The Lancers trying to get some more points out for turnovers. He'll calm down this offense. The Lancers, a whole lot of forced turnovers here tonight. Forced 21 last game. Was able to score 22 points on it as Belcher will go back to the line for 2 more shots. He's fouled on the layup attempt. The Lancer lead at 17. As Belcher just missing the first of two, now gone 3 straight without making a shot. And just of note, Thomas Fallon picking up his 3rd foul of the night on the play. Belcher finally breaks his scoring drought from the line and is able to put one in as he'll come out for Zach Steele. The Lancers up by 18, 27 seconds left here in the third quarter. Hart controls at the top, passes it to the inside to Simmons, looking to put up the shot, gets fouled on the play. Looked like it might have been a block there from Jared Fucci, but instead just getting a little too much of his arm as Simmons will go to the line for 2. Millis attempt number 18 and 19 from the line of the night. Misses the first of 2. The free throw woes continue. 8 of 17. Check that, 8 of 18 here tonight. As Nate Sicard coming in. Jared Fucci taking his seat on the Lancer bench. As Millis makes their second of 2 shots. Thomas Bingle to bring it up. Pass to half court line, throws it over to the far side. At the elbow. McNichols has it, 3, got it. And the lead back to 20 with 4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 2 seconds left now. Millis looking to put up the runner at the end of the quarter, misses, but it's all Norton as we make the turn for home. 56-36, fourth quarter. Coming up next right here on Friday Night Hoops on LSN. Hello, folks. Welcome inside of our booth here at the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The Lancers leading by 20, 56-36. We head towards the fourth quarter of action, and let's see how it's going to fold out. The Lancers with a huge third quarter of action, 17 points to bring their total up to 56 on the night, looking to crack 60 once again for the second straight game. They haven't been able to do that in quite some time. They're 63 against Medfield with their most points in 8 games. They hadn't been over 60 points in that threshold since December the 18th, but we're going to do it on back-to-back nights here on LSN, and Zach Steele getting it started here in the fourth quarter with a steal. The pass to McNichols, got it. And a fantastic transition play for the Lancers. Thomas Fallon brings it up on the near side. LeDuc now has it. Sends it over to the far side to Algier. He'll hold it, nowhere to go with it. It's a fantastic defense by Bingle. And the Lanes will get the ball back up by 22. And a timeout here, just 36 seconds into the fourth quarter by Paul Adams' team. Down by 22 here in the fourth on LSN. Well, folks, welcome back here to Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. You see right there on your screen, Mikey Belcher. Not only a star for the Lancers on the court, but also a star on the diamond as well. One of the top 2 pitchers on the Norton Lancer varsity team. And pitched a fantastic year last year with a sub-3 ERA. Looking to build off of that in his junior season. As Nate Sicard has it for the Lancers, Zach Steele has it. Over to the near side to Collmore. He'll hold it, looking to bring it to Sicard inside the lane, using his body to drive the lane, and puts it in. And Nate Sicard scoring his first 2 varsity points to put the Lancers at 60 points. So a huge congratulations going out to Nate Sicard, scoring his first 2 varsity points of what should be a fantastic career over the next season and a half, as Millis coming right back with a 3-pointer. The lead now at 22. Steele has it. We're going to feed it to Sicard. The shot from just outside the lane, missing, but he'll get the rebound right back. We're going to put it up and in. And 2 straight possessions, 2 straight scores for Nate Sicard. The sophomore standing in at 6'2", seeing some big-time varsity action, and he's making a mark. 2 rebounds, 5 points already. 63-39 the score. The Lancers leading by 24. Sicard playing it back to Cochran. McNichols has it on the outside. Now it's Steele who has it. Back to Sicard on the elbow. McNichols for 3 again. 66-39. And the threes have been falling all night for Sean McNichols. 16 points a game ago, having himself a night on a Friday. LeDuc sending it over to the near side, and a travel called on J.D. Hart as the Lancers riding towards a victory here on Friday Night Hoops, up by 27 with 5:52 remaining. Already 10 points in the quarter. Millis with just 3. Collimore has it. Now to Sicard. He'll run the offense for a bit. Looking to bring it back is Bingle. McNichols now has it. To Steele. He'll hold it. Back to Sicard. Now to Bingle. Over to the far side to McNichols. 5 seconds left in the shot clock. McNichols, the step back J, just off the iron of the Lancers. A mad dash for the rebound, unable to get it. And a foul with the call on Cochran. And now it's the substitutes coming in. Matt Bradley, the senior. Mikey Belcher coming in. Griffin Mackler, Jared Fucci, and Colin Cochran all coming into the action. So Mills will bring it up with Duke, sending it over to the far side to Algier. Mohawks down by 27. The shot just going off the iron. Belcher to grab it, and the Lancers to go the other way with it. Mackler has it in one motion. Sending it down court. And unfortunately for Mackler, and you can see the look on his face, Nick Algier fouled him on the play. Looked to go up and over Algier while simultaneously sending it down court to Cochran. Mackler just trying to make Sports Center at this point with his team up by 27. Less than 5 minutes to go in this one. Bradley has it. Over to the near side. Fucci up top to Mackler. Now to Cochran, to Bradley. Bradley has it. We're going to send it back outside to Mackler. He'll have it with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Has it, the pull-up Jay from just inside the arc, sinks it. And another 2 points for Mackler on what's been a fantastic night for the kid. 16 points in the first half and a whole lot of points here in the second. Millis has it, it's Algier. Algier trying to put it up and blocked. As the Lancers go the other way from Griffin Mackler looking to put it up. Looked to go for the dunk. But he's stripped of the ball by Kyle Wilcox, and in comes senior Cam Stoltner and sophomore Hunter Murphy. Stoltner, another baseball player on this team, looking projected to be the starting outfielder this year for the Lancer varsity team. Just a little talk between Hunter Murphy. He had a couple of wristbands. The ref had him take off. But he'll grab the inbound pass. Sending it out to the top to Colin Cochran. Now to Stolp. Cochran has it. Puts up the 3. Just in and out of the back iron. looking to grab his own rebound, but Mills will grab it, and they'll go the other way with it. Put up the shot, just missing. And a whole lot of commotion as we'll get a jump ball with the Lancers up by 21. The Lancers up by 29 as the Lancers have the possession arrow pointing their way. They'll get the ball with 3:53 left here in this one. Mackler has it on the far side, the senior, the captain as well. He'll run the offense. Now to Bradley at the wing. To Cochran, to Mackler. Back to Bradley. Bradley looked to go for the shot opportunity, instead dumps it out to the far side. The Lancers wrapping up with 3.5 minutes to go. What looks to be a fantastic victory. Their second at home on the season, just going in and out of the hands of Colin Cochran as he fell to the floor. As it'll be Millis to inbound this one. Josh Bergman. He'll have it. Throws it over to the wing. And the last man to come in off the bench, number 4, Justin Lander. Looking to come in as the Lancers as a substitute. Going off a couple of hands. Last touch by Matt Bradley will go out of play. So coming out is Griffin Mackler, which looks like it might be in for him after a fantastic night, and the bench just about completely empty with Justin Lander coming in, the junior. Just under the bucket, Millis able to put some home, breaking the 40-point threshold as the Lancers have a 27-point lead. The pass to the near side. Bradley has it. We're going to pass it to Stoltner, a whole lot of bodies covering him. But it's Stoltner back to Bradley. Throws it over to the far side. Now it's Stoltner who has it, driving the lane. We're going to put up his first 2 varsity points of the night, and he's fouling and will go to the line. So Cam Stoltner, the senior on this team, one of the scrappier players on this team as well, looking to put up his first varsity point of the season. Just in and out of the iron, and the Lancer fan section reacting accordingly. One of the fans in the student section, so they're ready to go, looking ready to erupt. Stoltner's able to grab this one. And he's got it. And Cam Stoltner, his first varsity points of the season, brings the Lancers to a 28-point lead. It's the three-pointer from Millis missing as the Lancers go the other way with it. Justin Lander, yet to score this year as well. Looking to put up his first varsity points. Colin Cochran had a fantastic night as well. Stoltner has it. Back to Cochran, in and out of his hands with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. 2:15 left in this one. They have Hunter Murphy. They'll feed it to him in the inside with just in and out of his hands. Looked to be poked out by James Works as Millis gets the ball back, and they'll go the other way with it. The Lancers lead at 28. And the Millis Road losing streak will begin to extend it towards 16 games. And they'll look to, as that shot off the iron, a big foul there on Matt Bradley will send Brendan Connery to the line. And against TVL opponents as well, they're looking to drop to 2-14 as well. It's 1-8 on the year. Still good enough for last place in the TVL. 2 full games behind Dedham. And for the Norton Lancers, they'll go back to 500 in division play. And just 2 games under 500 on the season, even though on the season they're 4-8. One of their games was exempted due to Nauset being 2 divisions above them, as that one misses Hunter Murphy with the rebound. So the Lancer record technically is at 4-8, but in terms of playoff purposes, it's at 4-7, looking to improve to 5-7. Lander, we're going to feed it inside the lane, puts up the shot, just misses as he tried to get his first varsity points as well. But he'll go to the line and shoot 2. And one of the great things you see here is the Lancers up by 28, a minute 27 left in this one, and the starters are on the bench jumping up and down like it might as well be a playoff game. As the first shot from Lander makes it, and he's got his first varsity points of the season. First varsity points of his career as well. So Lander makes both of them perfect from the stripe. And Millis will go the other way. Down by 30, the Lancers breaking the 70-point threshold. Cam Stoltner almost with the steal there. Back to Bergman. Bergman for three off the back iron. Hunter Murphy looking to get the rebound. They're looking to free up Cam Stoltner. They do. On the fast break, puts up the shot. Fouled again on the play. So the Lancers will go to the line for two more free throws. Number 14 and 15 on the night. 71-41 the score, looking to add to the advantage. And he'll make the first of two. The second one just off the front of the iron as Millis will go the other way with it. Stoltner 2 of 4 from the line tonight. In just a few moments, he's already had 2 trips to the line. The Mohawks have it on the outside. Looking to bring back towards Bergman. Over to Bates. We're going to get it, and it tipped out of play. Justin Lander able to pick off that pass and last off the hands of James Works. So 48.5 left in this one, and the Lancers just looking to wrap it all up. 72-41 the score. The Lancers next up for them. They'll travel at Medway, team that is tied for first in the TVL. Is Matt Bradley just missing it, looking to put back the second chance opportunity, but is unable to. Looking for his first varsity points of the season as well. On the other side of things, it'll be Millis taking on Dover Sherborne at home. Always a tough place to play. 3-5 at home. A smaller court, one really, the full court press, really one of the only options to use on defense. They'll go up against Dover Sherborne in 4 days' time, as Wilcox is able to make his first of 2 shots. The second, good as well. The lead now cut to 29. Remember, folks, coming up next, LS in overtime. We'll have an interview with Coach Lib and our star player of the game as well as breaking down all the action here in what's been a fantastic Friday night for the Lancers, as they're just going to run out the clock on this one. 8 seconds left, and the Lancers doing a fantastic job here tonight. Winning this one by 29 as the clock hits 000. 72-43 the final score. LSN overtime coming up next. From the Lawrence Iraq Gymnasium, I'm Javik Blake. Final here, 72-43. Hello, folks. Welcome inside LS in overtime. I'm Javik Blake alongside our star player, the Graham Griffin and Mackler. Griff, fantastic game tonight. You had a few injuries coming into the night, but how were you able to work through that?
Honestly, Michelle, just a lot of strengthening stuff with her in the weight room. I'm in a brace now, but it's feeling a lot better. I was only out for a week.
And coming into tonight, really the three-point shooting ability that had kind of been sort of a drawback for you this season. You were able to hit a whole lot of shots. That's something you've been working on in practice?
I've been working on in practice. I actually texted my trainer that I used to train in the summer with, and he gave me a couple tips. He said, just before the game, be calm, maybe picture you actually hitting a three-point shot in the game, where you'd shoot it from. So I was just thinking about that, stuff just my form, following through, elbow.
Now, a huge win for you guys tonight.
Absolutely.
Fantastic win. How big is this for you guys going forward?
Huge. We beat Medfield on Tuesday. That was a great win. Came here, so that was our first 2-0 week. Next week, start over. We're 0-0. We just got to work our way to the tournament 10-10.
Yeah,
that was a huge win. We'll go next week, try to get 2-2 again. 2-0.
Thank you so much, Griff. Griffin Mackler after the Lancers' first 2-0 week of the season. We'll be back with more LS in overtime right after this. Hello, folks. Welcome inside LS in overtime. I'm Javik Blake alongside Coach Mark Libator, head coach for the Lancers, after a fantastic win here on Friday night. You said when we talked earlier today, defending that home court was a big thing, and you guys were able to do that in a huge way here tonight.
Yeah, and I thought we had a good start. That's sort of been our problem here at home. We haven't had some great starts. We've gotten down by 6 or 8 first quarter. So I thought we came out with a lot of energy right away. had a great start. We started a small lineup, which I was somewhat nervous about in terms of rebounding, but we hit a bunch of shots early, got some transition layups, and then I thought we got great contributions from almost everybody on the bench, which helped too.
And not only was it a small lineup coming out to start, you guys were able to have a whole lot of offensive rebounds in the early stages. Really, would you think transitioned to a very rebound-heavy game?
Yeah, and just with that quick lineup too, I think we're hard to guard because we really had, 3 good shooters on the floor, and Mikey Belcher makes up for whatever lack of rebounding we have in size because he rebounds a lot. So, we're always dependent on him, but, it's just the way we played, the energy we had, I thought was great.
And now a big thing for you guys this whole season is getting that 2-0 week. How big is it to go 2-0 this week against 2 very good opponents?
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. Like, we did the tougher half in a lot of ways, winning on the road Tuesday, and then we said, now it's like a 1-on-1. You hit the front end of it. The easier part should be the second half. So we took care of, Medfield on Tuesday night. We were able to win that. Now to come home, we wanted to finish it. You don't want to just get one of them. Go get 2 of them, and then we can build off that for next week.
Now, you guys, 2 games under 500, looking to the future. As you go towards the second half of the season, how big is this win for you guys?
I mean, they're all big because it's going to be so competitive down the stretch. Bellingham and Dover are playing tonight, so obviously somebody's going to lose that game. Medway and Dedham are playing. That'll be a competitive game. So I think it's going to be very competitive with all these small school teams right down the stretch, and hopefully we can, replicate what we did tonight and continue to play that way and be right in the mix as we go down the stretch.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Enjoy the big victory. We'll be back with more Ellis in Overtime right after this. Hello, folks. Welcome inside Lawrence Rock Gymnasium. The Lancers with a commanding 72-43 victory here on a Friday night to improve to 5-8 on the season. Millis, on the other hand, dropping to 3-12. The Lancers are going back to 500 in TVL play as well at 5-5. But let's get you the final stat totals from tonight. 3-point field goals tonight for Millis was at 3 of 6. For the Lancers, it was at 6 of 9, good for 67%. And free throws, really a big thing that Millis was really unable to get going in the first half. In the second half, they hit all 5 of their attempts at the line, ending up at 11 of 21 for the Lancers. On the other hand, they struggled a bit in the second half. Only 6 made free throws on 11 shots, good for 8 of 15 on the night, including a couple of 3-point plays down the stretch in the fourth quarter. For points in the paint, the Lancer defense doing a fantastic job, limiting Millis to just 9 all game and 0. That's right, 0 in the second half. They had 15 of their own, but the Lancer defense really did a fantastic job forcing Millis to the outside, making them take tough shots, and it really showed in the scoreboard with only 19 second half points. The Lancers over with 15 points in the paint, including 3 in the fourth quarter. The rebounding game as well, the Lancers started out early, dominated early. As we talked to Coach Lib, they really were able to set the tone with those early few possessions, getting those offensive rebounds. They ended up with 24, Millis with 17. And now your stat leaders for tonight, Griffin Mackler, we just spoke to him, had one heck of a night, 23 points after not being able to play really in his last 2 games, but came out tonight strong, was able to hit a whole lot of 3-pointers, 3 of them to be exact, and ended up with 23 points. And Sean Nichols, a fantastic second half from the man, 15 points to end up with 19 points in total. On the other side of things for the Millis Mohawks, Jonathan LeDuc with 11 points and Nick Algier with 8. But next up for the Lancers, the road doesn't get any easier. They'll be taking on the first place team in the TVL in Medway coming up in just a few days. As for Millis on the other side, they'll be taking on Dover Sherborne, who currently sits at 6-4 in the TVL. So for all of us here at LSN, I'm Javik Blake, as we bid you adieu from the Lawrence Rock Gymnasium, the final 72-43 in favor of your Norton Lancers. Good night, folks.